everybody. This is episode 4, and I am with I was about to say the nieces. I had a niece last week. Tyranny Lachelle. Is that cool? All right. CEO.
One of your
the Queen Org first, which has birthed so much more that we're going to get into in the episode. So first off, just tell us a little bit about yourself. It can be personal, business, all the above.
Girl, we'll keep it right there, huh? Hi, my name is Tyranny Lachelle. I'm a content marketing strategist and motivational speaker. I look to connect with female entrepreneurs who are looking to establish their infrastructure for their online businesses. I really just help them to understand what's going on the back end so that they can show up confidently on the front end. So I have a 12-week program. It's called the Plan, Create, Execute Academy. It's a framework that I developed last year where I'm really just taking my people on a journey of understanding and conducting market research all the way to developing their brand. Then we get into content creation and just making sure that we have a solid strategy in place so that when it's time to show up and connect with the people that we're looking to connect with, that you're able to do that confidently and you have the systems and strategies in place that's going to help you execute. So pretty much building a marketing funnel that is really going to help your people to go on their journey from unaware all the way to aware of what it is that you have to offer and making that connection. And I help you through that.
Yes, that's so good. And we just building up. Last week, we went with Alicia and she talked about stuff. So once you there, we got Tyranny who's going to help you get to put some strategies in place because we're not just casting a vision just to throw out there. We want to
absolutely
execute. Absolutely. So thank you for the introduction. So how did you get started in marketing? Is that your major?
It is not, right? Long journey ahead. We're going to keep it the short version. I'm going to try to condense it on tonight. Basically, the pandemic pushed me into this. Now, you mentioned the Queen organization. That is definitely the main vision that was given to me at the beginning. Right after I had baby Jay, I had a dream. God was just like, I want you to pretty much build the Queen organization. And at that time, I really just saw visuals. And that's what I just got from those dreams, that that's what I was supposed to be doing. He gave me a name. And so I tried to just do a young mother support group. And because at that time, there was something that I just had my baby. I was connected with a lot of other young mothers who we just didn't know what was out here doing. And so we needed their support. And so I was just I want to offer up, if that's the same place so that we can grow and become together. And I wanted to be something that's empowering and inspirational. And what I realized was that was so general and that was so just bland, because there could be so many different things. You could be empowered in so many ways through so many different things. So I realized that it was something I needed to niche down. And so that's when I started studying. And so when the pandemic hit, I just really just went to researching and was just trying to figure out, okay, what's going to be most profitable? What's going to really just help me to really make an imprint? And so my degree is in sociology. I went to Philadelphia Smith College. My degree is in sociology, but I realized quickly that may not have been the right major, but because I went through all 4 years, we're going to get this degree. And so I think that I am going to go back to school to get something more official as it pertains to marketing. But at this point, it's really just been self-study. I've invested in coaches. I've invested in a lot as it pertains to me developing in the area of branding and in the branding and marketing industry. And so it's been since March of 2020, and I just been kind of just growing and becoming since then. And that's how we got here.
That's so awesome. I do enjoy everybody's backstories because we started here and now you're in a completely different direction. But the ultimate goal is to make an impact for sure. And
it's still, at the end of the day, I had to find my way to empower, and it's through marketing and branding I'm able to do that.
Absolutely. And it's amazing, you know, when we give over our plans to God, the direction that He'll take us. You know,
oh my gosh.
And so that's we touched on that last week. You know, I wanted to do you know, A, B, and C, but now that I'm here, it's like a whole other platform that I'm introducing to the world. And so I just think that's so amazing. And I do, again, appreciate you for sharing your story with us. So so we talked about, you know, how you started and what keeps you going. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Girl, at this point, I gave my yes to God is no matter what they look like. And so it's really a transitional period for me. My yes was completely different a couple of years ago. But because of the simple fact that this is what's on my heart at this point in time, this is what I go to sleep thinking about. This is what I wake up thinking about. This is where people are, you know, kind of confirming that I'm supposed to be doing. And so at the end of the day, when I called myself trying to walk away, it was like, it kind of came right back to me. And so because of that, that's honestly what's keeping me going, as well as my baby girl, Jay Madison. Love her. She really just like showed me what life could be. She really differently introduced a completely different perspective after I, you know, gave birth to her. And so I just want her to know that I'm going to always do everything that I can to serve God and His people. I want her to take on those same, you know, I want her to do the same thing. And so I feel like the only way I can tell her is by showing her, because, you know, they do what they see.
Absolutely. And
you can try to do the one thing, girl. So now that's different.
Absolutely.
Right.
The clients don't do what you tell them to do, they do what you do.
But they literally so.
And yes, one of the lessons. Take that nugget, put it in your pocket.
Come on.
And
I'm gonna take that
one. Listen. So we're gonna jump right into how to like I said, we cast the vision, but how can we want some steps to help us. So what I wanted to touch on was a few things. The very first one, you know, we have all these goals, we New Year's resolutions. You know, we get in the bag, everybody trying to get to the bag or whatever. But let's talk about busy versus productivity. So how do you,
that's good.
I feel like that was a really good one to start with, because we can be busy doing a whole lot of things and it's not getting us to where we want to be, just to say that we're
right. And this, I mean, oh my God, I kind of got to tell on myself a little bit, because when I looked at my review of what I did last year, I was busy like that first half of 2021, and something had to change because I was not doing the right work. I was not really putting a lot of emphasis on that income producing, that income generating activity, and that was something that was seriously necessary. And you just really got to like think about what your goals are, and then you understand what you need to do in order to get it done. But then after that, you have so many different other things that's kind of like fighting for your attention. So you have to have that tunnel vision in order to be able to actually focus on what it is that you're supposed to be doing, so that you can actually get it done, or else you just gonna be looking like you're doing something and you're going nowhere fast.
That is so.
So we can definitely talk about that, because I definitely know I know a lot about that, girl.
Don't we all? We have these planners. We get to the end of the week and we're like,
oh my God,
what did I wanted to do this. I had all these things and I did them, but yeah.
I promise.
Yeah,
Keep
that's
that.
good. That is so good. So that's basically like the elephant analogy, breaking it down into smaller children. Because yeah, trying to if you thinking about 365 days can be overwhelming. 52 weeks, like you said.
That is cute,
so
girl. We can barely get past the week. We got so many. We have so many other everywhere. So it's just like, let's break that thing all the way down to the point to where it's like so simple, you know? And I know that that's something that you talk about when it comes to health. So it's like we could apply these same.
Listen, and that's how I started. When I spread some of that discipline that I had in this area over to it started with health and my spiritual life initially, and then I'm like, okay, so yeah, we're trying to leak those over because I've proven to be very disciplined in that area, but like as far as planning content and stuff, now I'm putting on more, but we just want to make sure that like you said, I'm being productive versus being busy. Because even, you can go to the gym all the time, but like, what you doing? I'm gonna just go get on the treadmill like this, and then that's the kind of results you'll have. Well, I guess, you know what I'm saying? I'm so very guilty of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just go work out. Well, what you gonna work? I don't know.
And that's the thing. It's just like, okay, well, is it even worth it? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it kind of. It's like building on a rocky foundation. You're going to have to start over anyway. So you might as well do it the right way so that you can. Girl, you preaching today, girl.
I'll put the cash at the bottom, y'all. Absolutely. That's so very true. I was like, I don't want to put nobody business out there, but they were talking about, getting a surgery because it takes too long to lose weight. But at the same token, you're put on the same, I don't even want to say restrictions, you're put on the same nutrition as you would if you work with a trainer. If you, do get surgery. I don't, I'm not shunning surgery, but don't look at it as a quick fix because you're going to have to work. Just as
it's still gonna take some work to get done.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take discipline. Yeah, absolutely. And so that's the message that
you have to maintain it after. Yeah, you got to maintain.
So it's kind of like building a house versus buying a house. You know what I'm saying? It still works. One is not. This is a better option. You gotta maintain the house. You gotta pay the bills. You gotta do the upkeep. You just do. So that's very good. So
it's so many. Now I'm saying that applies in so many areas. I love that.
Yeah, because we want to buy the success. Like, we were talking about the preliminary part.
No, literally, it's impossible. You're gonna have to go back to step one. It's no skipping steps. You can't skip steps.
I want to be overwhelmed so bad.
Or you're going to be able to determine when you skip that. And that's literally what happened to me in my business. It's like, that's the reason why I know I'm able to show up confidently now, because when I realized I was skipping steps, I literally had to start up from ground zero. Now I started up from ground zero, and now I'm able to get the results that I'm looking for because I did that. Same for you. You said your story as far as your workout, your lifestyle journey. At this point, you started over a few times, but the reason why you're getting the results is because that you're actually doing what you need to do in order to get things done. So
that's golden.
It kind of
it gotta be done. So yeah, and a lot of times we're like, we have these pictures in our mind. I'm 31, and I feel like 31 is like supposed to be. I used to feel like 31 was supposed to be an established age where I'm not still trying to figure things out. But here I am. This is episode 4 that will make week 4 of my show. And it's just been so many people have poured into me but it's because I was obedient and I poured into people. And
absolutely.
My return.
Come on.
I'm about to cry a little bit, but it's fine.
Listen, I love it.
Yesterday, a random person messaged me on Facebook and was like, called me. I was like, what? Lord, drama in 2022 is just But they were like,
Right.
I
Let
just
me
want
say,
to let you know to continue to do what you're doing. You are helping so many people through sharing your healing journey and things like that. Because my initial 2 episodes were talking about me healing and, you know, what I dealt with, what I came out of. So, yeah, I can always appreciate those type of calls. But all right, moving along.
girl, please keep going. Don't stop for real. Because I'm telling you, like at the end of the day, you're gonna look back and see where you've come from. And the only way that you can do that, is if you start. You can't be able to determine what the finish is gonna be unless you start. So you doing it, girl.
Okay.
We've been communicating quite a bit. So the evolution, it's the evolution for the both of us, for me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we just gotta keep going. You just gotta keep going. And because that's failure is when you quit.
Absolutely. Starting over, you starting with experience. Like you said,
With the experience.
You had to, okay, I gotta go back. But that's what experience, because
Maybe this time, because I know what I there were some things that I was accepting, and the reason why I was accepting it is because I didn't have anything in place. But now that I've had that experience, now I can start over when I'm popping out this time. Oh no, we got some boundaries that won't be crossed because of the experience that I had. So at the end of the day, girl, you just got to keep going. And it's a different, you show up different. I want you to even think about the different episodes from the time that you started till now. You showing up different because of the experience that took place, and because of the connections that you're making and the impact that you have on your people. They're excited, and if you walk away after they reviewed, it's gonna be a letdown to them because they was once receiving it. So it's like when you asked me, well, how do you keep going earlier? Another thing I could have said was my clients as well. And I really, can we go back to the beginning? Answer the question again.
Go ahead.
My clients have been here to say, no, you have really helped impact my business. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't know the things that I know. They could choose to go to anybody else, but it's something special about us, and it's the stories that we have, and they resonate with us. And so it's beautiful how it just all works together. And like you said, because you're able to feed yourself and then get from your overflow, God is now allowing that to be reciprocated back into you. So I love it.
Absolutely. I'm so very proud, and I'm thankful for what I've learned. So very appreciative. I'm glad you decided to do the work, because I can't be the expert in everything. So I'm very appreciative for experts like yourself. And we kind of went over the other 2 points, which was to set goals and how to. You talked about breaking your year off into 12 weeks. That's so good. Because and then in the 12 weeks, you can go back. So let's talk about that. How do you measure, once you review those 12 weeks, how are you measuring success and what needs to work? What needs to be worked on?
Yeah, so my thing, we got the 12-week year, and then after you determine what those tasks are, you just measure week to week. And you just go back, okay, did I do X, Y, and Z? And so I created a content marketing system. It's a plug, but it's not a plug. I created a system where I really have literally done all the work for everybody. So this is also the same system that I use, where I literally break down all the tasks that need to be completed monthly, all the tasks that need to be completed weekly, all the tasks that need to be completed daily, and there are check boxes so that I can check them off as those tasks get completed. And you also just don't want to overwhelm yourself, right? Don't try to do too much. Like, do something that's attainable, that's achievable, so that you can actually get it done. Because when you start checking things off that list, there is a sense of like, girl, I did it. I know you feel good after you get finished with your workouts. I know you get, girl. And at this point, I'm sitting here preach to myself when I'm sorry, every time I start talking about this and I get to the weight loss part, I'm like, But anyways, I know you feel good when you go and you work out. I know you feel good when you had your shakes for the day. When when you check those things off the list, you just feel so productive. And so that's going to add fuel to you getting things done, especially when you made that commitment to yourself. Like, hey, I'm going to get X, Y, and Z done. So that's the way you just want to measure on a weekly basis. If there's something that you need to get back to, or if you see, okay, I'm not going to be able to execute on this goal, then just, place it where you need to. We got to give ourselves grace as well.
Don't change the plan.
Exactly. So you may just have to extend it out a little bit. Who's to say that you're any worse than, because of the simple fact that you don't necessarily meet the goal right then and there. So
that's good. And I'm so glad you mentioned that, because speaking of lifestyle changes, I did not reach some goals this in 2021, but those goals are them bringing with me in 2022.
Absolutely.
Goals that I want to reach, because like you just said, the only thing that'll make you unsuccessful is quitting. You're not unsuccessful if you didn't reach it by your timeline. Right. The only thing that makes you unsuccessful is just quitting, because you'll never get there if you stop. For sure.
That's the thing. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but when I was looking at my last, that was the most consistent I've ever been in my business. I've said I've had a business since 2019, but last year was the most consistent that I ever been. But there were still start and stops, and you could literally see it. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I should have just kept going. Like, it was a little frustrating just to see it. But at this point, we gotta, like I said, we gotta extend that grace and just continue on and shift the plan a little bit. But the end of the day, like, just know that when you stop, although it's good to rest, I'm definitely not saying don't rest whatsoever, but you're gonna have to put a timer on that thing. Okay, if you're gonna take a couple of days off, take your couple of days, but you got to get back to it. You know what I mean? Because we got the big goal in mind. So if you messing up on the little small goals and you chipping away, by the time it's time to do our reviews and look and seeing, okay, I fell off here, well, why ain't get back up? You know what I mean? So you just gotta keep all of that in mind.
Good. That's good. Good to me, honey. Good to me. So we talked about busyness versus progress, setting goals and executing those goals, and how to measure those. It's just, I promise you, like you said, it's kind of like an epiphany. You're like, oh dang, this applies like literally everywhere in my life. Like
literally,
spiritually, you got to keep that relationship with God. You can't stop having your little talk with Jesus. You can tell when you stop.
And that talk with Jesus, though, because we can talk about it now. You're gonna have to have that time you expect to get it done. Because who else? I'm telling you, you can tell the days where you have not had your little talk with Jesus.
It be those everything that could go wrong, do go wrong. And it's not that it goes wrong. You're not equipped to handle how.
You gotta put that armor on. You gotta put that armor on every single day, because the enemy's not taking no days off. That's just the thing. So if you're not ready, baby, you're gonna get sideswiped and gonna get knocked out if you're not ready. So it's all a part of getting ready. Maybe you need to wake up an hour earlier just so that you can have some devotion, just so that you can meditate, just so you can write out those thoughts. Because that was another thing that I realized. A lot of the issue was my belief system, and the fact that there are some things that I believe that no longer serve me. And I needed to rewire the way that I was thinking so that I can actually execute on what it is that I'm looking to do. This is ever going. We have to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. This is a daily effort. And so if you don't necessarily have your little talk with Jesus, you just got to make sure that you are alert and aware enough to get back in transition. So we thank him for the grace that he extends to us. But our days go so much better when we allow Holy Spirit to be the one who guides us and directs us. And when we choose to align the thoughts that are in our when we choose to align ourselves with the truth, with God's word. That's the reason why you got to constantly affirm. That's the reason why you got to constantly take in. It's like medicine. That's what the word is. It's medicine for us. So we got to constantly have our daily dose, like vitamins. So I'm done. Let me stop.
No, because you're in the vein today. Because when you said what we talked about on our morning call, every new level requires a different version of you. And
Absolutely.
when you said the renewing of your mind, I remember being in a very difficult point in my life, and that's what came to me, that scripture. And it was like God, He would have never told you to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. He already knew you were gonna have to do this. Affirmation is backed by the word of God. And a lot of times our generation, we want to separate that. But if there is no separation, renewing your mind,
it go hand in hand.
The same thing, absolutely. And that's what is most of the affirmations and your John Maxwell's, your
within the power of the tongue.
It's absolutely, and it's a lot of it is just the word of God paraphrased into modern language. A whole lot of it.
Yeah.
Faith without works is dead. It's just like saying, today I think I did post, motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. That's the work. That's the work. The motivation is your faith part. I believe I can do this. And the discipline, that's the works. That's the works. That's so good. And
you're saying those affirmations. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. We're saying these affirmations so that our subconscious can take that in. We've believed a certain way for so long, and we're going through a process of unlearning. So think about a child when they learn. Although they have to spend that time, they have to have that repetition, they have to constantly take that in. And so that's literally what those affirmations are. And that's the reason why you want to make sure that your affirmations are simple. And actually, because you're literally retraining your mind. You are literally transforming your mind by reciting those affirmations. So at the end of the day, girl, yes, it goes hand to hand, because it's just like when you go to church and okay, so I know we're not going this route, but I'm just saying this as an example. You go to church and you just hear like a spiritual message, and it's so deep and so profound, right? But you ain't gave me no action steps to make this practical so I can walk this thing out. All I know is all this extravagant stuff, but I don't got nothing to help me execute on what it is that you just told me. I don't want to go to church like that no more. Like, I need some practical things so that I can put this into play so that my life can exhibit what the word says. And this is the reason why I'm affirming. This is the reason why I'm in my word. This is the reason why I'm transforming my mind so that I can be in full alignment with what God says. So
that's so good, girl. We on a time crunch today, unfortunately. I love to just let my interviews flow. If you have any more, we'll plug in your social medias and the 12-week course. We will put how to access you in order to access that course. She has a community. If you hear her talking about plan, create, execute. That's what we talked about planning, creating last week, and we're talking about execution this week. We'll put that link. It'll be in the description box. How you can reach her. What else? Am I missing anything? So is your app a part of the academy, or do we need to plug that in? Because that app is lit. No.
Oh yes. So that is actually something that you receive, or you can also purchase it. It's not an app, it's a content management system. Okay. And so it is actually something that you can purchase separately. And so I can definitely give you a link to that if someone wants to just get the essential content management system. It does come with a walkthrough, and it also comes with a content marketing strategy that you can actually use and implement so that you can show up confidently. And then if you want to work with me directly, you can as well. But the content management system is something that does come with the 12-week program.
It's lit, y'all. No problem at all. It's very neat. Listen, busy, not just moms, busy people in general. You need that in your life. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
planning keep you from being like, dang, I didn't show up, because that's another version of not showing up for yourself.
Yeah.
Because if your plan is to reach the masses, we know that attention is pulled in a million different directions, and you need your business to be one of those directions. So that's
Absolutely.
definitely
Absolutely.
good, and it's very, very useful. Because I don't wake up every morning and say, dang, I need to post. But if I take one day out of my week to plan my content, my week goes by so much better, and that's what I've been doing today. I was off today.
Absolutely. You get results. You can't have results unless you can't measure anything unless you know what it is that you're looking to measure. So it really just helps you to just keep everything flowing and going, and you're able to remain organized and productive when you actually have a plan in place. Write the vision, make it plain. Nobody can run with it if you don't got nothing.
Not a plan with, sis. That's like you said. That was so good. That was so good. We get Z, but we don't get, A. We just we know the end goal, but how do we get there?
How do you get there?
Definitely, and I find again that's where our generation falls off at, because we are far more practical, I feel like, than the older generation. We definitely like those action steps. So yeah, and just make it plain, literally. That's it.
Make it plain. Girl, I ain't trying to make this go any longer than it needs to be. So I'm sitting here like,
we might need a part 2. Who knows? But you'll definitely see more of us, more of her. We're showing up for ourselves in 2022. And
y'all, it's about to go down.
Like, and you literally just said the reasoning behind me doing this episode. We talked about it and we fired up about where we want to go, and then it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna get there. I know I want to be successful, but okay, now what I need to do? She got me fired up about what my dreams and my goals, and then okay. So this is where Terry comes in, y'all, and this is why I wanted to definitely bring her on my platform. Because we empowering people all 2022 while empowering ourselves. That's
absolutely.
It. Like, you ain't ready to grow.
And it's not the we have to do this. It's like imperative. In order for our children to have something different from what we had, we're going to have to get to work. Like, this is like our souls are crying out. Like, this is generational wealth that we're building. Like, we cannot stay in the same place. You cannot stay on your job for 30 years, mad at life and angry at everything else that's happened because you didn't choose to put forth that effort or go after what it is that God has placed inside of you, right? He's going to be checking and asking you for, what did you do with the talents that I gave to you? Like, he had something for us to do on this earth, for us all. And if we check out of here without putting effort into the assignment that he's placed on us, you have to take care of God.
Look, we love. She understood the assignment. Did you really though? Did you really?
But did you really? Was that the assignment that he gave you? Girl, that's a whole nother one. Let me get off your line. I'm done.
This be my problem. I get people that I can talk with for hours, and then okay, we just got 45 minutes, baby. Yes, that's good. That's good. That's just me, y'all. I mean, give us a thumbs up.
I'm gonna have her on my podcast. I'm gonna have you on my podcast, and we'll just have a continuation of this.
There you go. And that's how it works. I'm so glad that I'm able to lock arms with female entrepreneurs, in particular, because that is my soft spot for sure. And single mothers, because I did have a mom. She and I locked arms when she was single. She's no longer single. She is married, but for sure, a single mom out here, we're still trying to get it, and that way we are not, we the full package. When our Mr. comes along, he listen, we bringing the bag too. So
not gonna have to rely on you, sir. I got my own.
See?
I got this.
See?
He gonna be an addition. He just like a embellishment, you know.
In
Razzle
addition,
dazzle.
some
I'm
beauty,
good
she
on my
got
own.
brain and a strategy, and she love God. Yeah,
Right?
we love to see
And she can cook. And she cute. And listen, I'm telling you, we goes
She's
on
gonna
and
add
on.
to
It's
you.
a
She
resume
just,
check.
I love it. Thank you so much
Love
again.
it.
You can close us out, girl, because we'll keep going.
Listen, I just thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to share with your people. You can follow me on social media at Tyranny Michelle. And Ed Plan, Create, Execute. And like she said, definitely join if you are a female entrepreneur and you're looking to connect with like-minded bosses. I would definitely love to have you a part of the Plan, Create, Execute Academy. Got some great things coming this year, and we just gonna go. We just gonna do it. And I would love to see you on the inside. God bless your platform, Lanisha. You are really rocking it out. Whether you honestly believe it or not, you really are here doing the thing. And to see you go every single day, I know I'm gonna get 3 to 5 posts from my girl, and I love that. About like I actually have been able to see that you going crazy with the reels, you getting new followers, like because of your consistency. Like God is shining, and you were able to do that. He's gonna do that and so much more with your platform. And I'm just grateful that you allow me to join arms with you on your platform, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. This has been episode 4 of Let's Talk Life with Lanisha, with our very special guest, Tierney Michelle, giving you the execution strategies.
Absolutely.
So, y'all have a great day. Look, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that's how we're going to sign out. Bye. Thank you.